Welcome, everyone. Today we are jumping into some really fascinating research on something you probably use every single day, music.
But we're not talking about, song lyrics or pop
No,
charts.
not at all. We're looking at sound as a tool, a really powerful, scientifically proven tool.
And our focus today is showing you how the right kinds of sounds can help with concentration, energy, and maybe most importantly for you, getting way better sleep.
Right. Because sleep isn't just downtime, is it? It's foundational. It's where your memory gets sorted, where you lock in what you've learned.
Exactly. And a lot of people think you need total, absolute silence to get good rest. But, well, the science often shows the opposite is true.
Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes silence is almost louder. If you live in a city or a noisy house, you're just waiting for the next sound.
That's it. The car horn, a door slamming down the hall, those are the things that jolt you awake. They're unpredictable.
So a consistent sound, like music, creates a kind of shield.
An acoustic shield, yeah. It creates a predictable environment. Your brain hears this steady, gentle sound and basically thinks, okay, nothing to worry about here. It lets its guard down. We call that masking.
Okay, let's get into the physical side of this, because it's not just a feeling. The music is, it's literally changing your body.
It is. It's a direct feedback loop. When you listen to a calm, slow song, your heart rate actually starts to slow down to match the tempo of the music.
So it syncs up.
It syncs up. It's a natural form of biofeedback. It's guiding your body from that active daytime state into a state of rest much more smoothly.
And while your body is slowing down, your brain is doing something similar. It's shifting gears.
Right. Think about when you're studying really hard, your brain is buzzing with fast electrical activity. We call those fast waves.
To get to sleep, you have to pump the brakes on that.
You do. You need to shift into slower, bigger brainwave patterns. First, we get to alpha waves.
Alpha waves, that's like a relaxed kind of daydreaming state.
Exactly. You're awake, but you're calm. But the real goal, the on-ramp to sleep, is getting into theta waves.
And what's the key difference there?
Theta waves are what happen in deep relaxation and light sleep. They're basically the signal that says, okay, we are checking out from the outside world now.
Which is so important for students, because your brain might still be stuck in that high alert mode, reviewing facts for a test or something.
That's what causes all the tossing and turning. Your brain hasn't gotten the message to power down.
So this is where that concept of entrainment comes in, right? The music is kind of a shortcut.
That's a perfect way to put it. Entrainment is just a fancy word for when your brain's internal rhythm syncs up with an external rhythm, in this case, the music.
And is there a specific speed or tempo we should be looking for?
There is. The research points to about 60 beats per minute, 60 BPM.
60. Why that number?
Well, think about it. 60 BPM is roughly the pace of a slow, deep breath, or a very relaxed resting heart rate. It's a primal rhythm that our bodies associate with deep calm.
So by playing music at that tempo, you're gently nudging your brain to slow down to that same speed.
You're encouraging it to enter those alpha and then theta states much more quickly.
And the outcome of all of this,
Yeah.
you get to deep sleep faster.
And that's the whole point. Deep sleep is when the real magic happens. Your body repairs itself. And for your brain, it's when you consolidate memories. It's when what you learned yesterday actually sticks.
If you don't get enough of it, you feel tired, you're grumpy, and learning anything new the next day is just a struggle.
It's an uphill battle. Music is just a simple bridge to get you to that restorative state more efficiently.
Let's talk about stress, because that's a huge part of this. There's a chemical reason this works.
Absolutely. It's about your nervous system. When you're stressed, you're in that fight or flight mode. Soothing music helps flip the switch to rest and digest.
You can actually feel that happen, can't you? Your shoulders relax, your jaw unclenches.
You do. And your breathing gets deeper, more regular, all without you even thinking about it.
But the big one is hormones, right? Specifically cortisol.
Cortisol, yes. That's your body's main stress hormone. It's like a natural alarm clock that's telling you to stay awake and alert to deal with problems.
So even if you're exhausted after a long study session, high cortisol is what keeps your mind racing.
That's exactly it. It's what keeps you staring at the ceiling. By lowering cortisol, music tells your body it's safe to power down for a long, uninterrupted rest.
And you fall asleep faster, and you stay asleep.
And just as important, it gives your mind something else to focus on besides, whatever you were worrying about from the day. It helps you let go.
Okay, so we get the science. How do we actually do this? How do you pick the right music? Because obviously you can't just put on anything.
No, definitely not. You have to avoid anything fast, anything with heavy drums or loud guitars, and anything with sudden changes in volume. That's a big one.
Because your brain is trying to predict what's next, and that keeps it awake.
Right. You want something predictable. So classical music often works really well. Ambient music, or soft acoustic stuff like piano or harp.
What about songs with words?
Ugh, that's the big caveat. It is almost always better to avoid lyrics.
Because your brain will try to follow the story.
It can't help it. Your language centers just automatically turn on and start processing the words. And that's an active process. You want your brain to be disengaging, not analyzing poetry.
That makes so much sense. So, no lyrics. What else?
Familiarity is your best friend here. It's actually better to listen to music you already know really well.
Why is that?
Because new music makes you curious. Your brain wants to figure out the pattern, guess the next note. That curiosity keeps you alert.
But if it's a song you've heard 1,000 times, there's no mental work to do.
Zero. It's just comfort and safety. And if you use the same playlist every night, it becomes a powerful signal. The music starts and your body instantly knows it's time to sleep. It's like Pavlov's bell.
What if you're not a music person? Are there other options?
Oh, absolutely. Nature sounds are fantastic for many people. Think falling rain, ocean waves.
And we hear a lot about white noise, but also something called pink noise. What's the difference?
They're both great at masking those sudden outside noises we talked about. The main difference is the sound quality.
Okay.
White noise has all the frequencies at equal intensity. It can sound a bit like static, a bit hissy.
Right.
Pink noise is a little different. It has less of the high frequency stuff, so it sounds deeper, more like a waterfall or steady, heavy rain. A lot of people find it less harsh, more relaxing than white noise.
And since there's no melody, your brain can just ignore it.
It tunes it out completely.
This all brings up a really critical point about safety, which is volume.
Yes. The volume has to be very low, just loud enough to mask other sounds. If it's too loud or if it suddenly gets louder, it triggers your startle reflex.
And that wakes you right up.
Instantly. You want a low, steady sound. Your brain interprets that as safe. High-pitched, sudden, or loud noises are interpreted as a threat.
So we have the science, we have the playlist, but you have to build a habit around it, a routine.
The routine is everything. It's the set of things you do every single night before the lights go out. And when you weave music into that routine while you're brushing your teeth or changing clothes, it creates this automatic transition period.
You're training your brain.
Yeah,
The music becomes part of the signal that the day is over.
exactly. And a really practical tip here, use a timer. Set the music to turn off after an hour or so.
Why is that?
Because once you're in those really deep stages of sleep later in the night, you don't want a sudden change in the sound like the playlist ending to disturb you. Let it just fade away while you're already deeply asleep.
So what's the big payoff here? It's not just about getting more hours of sleep.
No, it's about the quality of those hours, how restorative your sleep is. Music helps you spend more time in those crucial deep sleep stages.
And when you get that high-quality sleep consistently, everything else gets better.
Everything. More energy, better concentration, it's easier to learn and remember things. Plus, your immune system gets stronger so you get sick less often. It just makes your whole life better.
A quick word on headphones. If you're using them, you need to be smart about it.
Very. They have to be comfortable, especially if you're a side sleeper. They actually make these soft headbands with flat speakers in them now and keep the volume low. You have to protect your hearing over the long term.
And wireless is probably safer, right? No cords to get tangled in.
Definitely. Or just a small speaker on your nightstand, played very quietly, is a great option.
Ultimately, building these habits now, using a simple tool like music, is a skill that will help you for the rest of your life.
It's an investment in your well-being, for sure.
So music is a simple, natural way to get that consistent, high-quality sleep you need to wake up refreshed and ready for your day. Which, it raises an interesting question for next time.
Oh,
If we can use sound to entrain our minds to slow down for sleep, what happens if we try to use it to entrain our focus during the day, to block out distractions when we study?
that's a great thought. Can sound make you sleep better and study better?
Good luck with your studies.